Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. What are the Steelers' top needs, in the offseason? What the top team needs that we need right now in the offseason, whether we get it via free agency or get it during the draft. We'll see what it is in this video right here today. In my opinion, I'm going based off of like the most important positions, me ranking them. I think the number one need for the Pittsburgh Steelers is the center position. You look at the O-line, how it kind of improved throughout the season and last year too as well. You see the additions of James Daniels, who's been here for I think 2 years so far. He played better. Offseason Malu, been here for this past season. He played well. And then also Broderick Jones getting drafted, in the 2023 draft. And then also when we Dan Moore, he's been all right. He's been solid. He had his moments of up and downs throughout the season. I think the most likely to still find another tackle as well in the draft. But you look at the center position, Mason Cole he had his moments occasionally, but throughout the entire season, just grading him, he has not been good. A lot of force, a lot of push on some of those plays, and our inability to run uphill, sometimes run downhill on some of those run plays is because we can't get any push, we can't get any force at the line of scrimmage for Mason Cole. So adding a center out there in the draft or free agency, I think most likely the draft will be the best bet to go out there and add a center, because you look at some of the free agents they have there. Of course, some free agent names you might want to say, okay, I can take a chance on a veteran here and there, but I think you want to build a young core. You got Broderick Jones. You got Steve Malu, who's been around for a while, James Daniels and stuff, but they still all very young, though, as well. So you want to build a young core up of like O-linemen up so they can grow together and get better together and be here for the long run. So guys like Jackson Power Johnson, a guy that from Oregon who they've been talking about, Coach Tomlin was talking to. A lot of people are speculating the Steelers are looking to maybe draft him. We don't know exactly what the Steelers will go with their first pick in the draft, but I'm thinking it's most likely going to be a center. Zach Frazier, another guy too. Was he from what college is he from? Zach Frazier's from I think Wyoming, right? He's from Wyoming. Or no, not Wyoming. West Virginia College. He's from West Virginia. Pretty good center too as well. Those probably some of the two top centers. It's another guy too as well. From Georgia. Georgia got all the players. What's his name? Cedric. I think it's Cedric. Yeah, Cedric from Georgia. Because I remember they mentioned that guy from Georgia and Means. I think Darius Means? Where my paper at? Yeah, no, Amarius Means. Yes, the other guy from Georgia as well. Georgia had a lot of different prospects. Yeah, Cedric. I can't pronounce the last name he got, but Cedric from Georgia. Good center. We've seen what he did with Georgia this year. Georgia has been a very dominant team at the line of scrimmage, running the football and the defensive line too. And you see their draft stock of all the people that's been kind of like brought in from Georgia. They have been amazing, have amazing talent, amazing draft prospects as well. But yeah, Zach Frazier, he's from West Virginia college. So those guys right there are some notable centers in the draft. Some of those guys you might have to trade up for to get, because they might be gone by the time we're picking in the draft. I forgot our slot. I don't know where we at. I think we might be 20th. I gotta check and see again. I don't know if we're 20th or 19th, 18th in the draft. I don't know where our pick at, but might have to trade up a little bit. Might have to give it too much to trade up a few spots. Try to get one of these centers. You have to see what happens during the draft day. But the next position I believe that is very important is the inside linebacker. You look at our inside linebacker core. You look at guys like Cole Holcomb, Cole Alexander, who both tore their legs, and then you got Landon Roberts, who was good this season for us. Mark Robinson, who played good at the end of the year. He showed you that he can be a versatile piece, especially getting downhill in the run game and just, causing havoc in the backfield. Had a few sacks, had a few tackle for losses in those last few games he played. But adding an inside linebacker who can cover, adding a guy who can cover, and looking through the draft, you get Cooper, Jeremiah Treader, the one from Clemson, I think, From Clemson, so you had a linebacker like that who can cover, who can play sideline to sideline. I wanted the Steelers to draft Trenton Simpson last year. I believe, yeah, Trenton Simpson he was from Clemson as well, I think, last year, and he was a good linebacker. Sideline to sideline, kind of Ryan Shazier type, one of those guys who is very versatile, who can play inside. They had him blitzing outside sometimes. They had him up in the box. They had him out guarding people in different areas and stuff around the field. The Ravens got him now. He played pretty good for the Ravens this season. So I wanted the Steelers to draft him, but the Ravens took him before us and stuff. We had other positions with to fill up too as well. But I feel like us adding a linebacker, an inside linebacker, just getting younger. Because I think Cole Holcomb will be back next year. He signed like a 2-year deal with us, and he's only 27 years old, so he'll be back next year. Cole Alexander might be gone, so we'll have to see how that goes. And another guy, Atlanta Roberts, he's a veteran, but he'll still be here next year as well. He played very hard, knows football, tough football. Mark Robinson will probably be here next year as well. So just adding that young piece to build up for the future around those guys is going to be good. So hopefully go out there and do that. And last but not least on the list, or my top 3 list right now, I got more positions too as well, is quarterback. Quarterback. As you guys know, the Steelers' quarterback needs have been luring around the team since, was it 2022, when Big Ben retired from the season. Benjamin tired of Roethlisberger, hanged it up after 16, 17 years. Was it 17 years in the NFL? I think 17 years in the NFL. Amazing career as a player. 2-time Super Bowl champion, 6-time Pro Bowler. The most 500 passing yards games in the NFL, the most passer rating. He tied with first in passer rating, perfect passer rating games in the NFL as well. Future Hall of Famer and Big Ben Roethlisberger. But ever since he retired, the Steelers have been looking for a quarterback. They went out there and signed a veteran, Mr. Trubisky, and they drafted Kenny Pickett. They seen Mr. Trubisky that season. He didn't play too well, so they benched him. Brought in Kenny Pickett to start. Kenny Pickett showed some light. I feel like Kenny Pickett, you look at his numbers, his stat numbers in his first rookie season, and you look at him in second year, I feel like his rookie season, he had more promise. You feel like he was more versatile. Even though he had more picks than touchdowns, he just felt more versatile because he had, I think, 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns. He had 7 passing touchdowns. He was just, I felt like he had more energy than you see in his past year, which we still in the current year still because the Super Bowl haven't happened yet. But you look at this year and see Kenny Pickett, he hasn't been the same, very hesitant. Of course, he'll turn the ball over, but look at the numbers. He's not really making no game-changing plays, playmaking plays. But then you see Mason Rudolph come in with the same offense, same team and everything, come in there and then ball out. See George Pickens' numbers shoot up. Deshaun Johnson numbers shoot up. A lot of the players' numbers shoot up. Offensive efficiency shoot up, and everything just looks better with Mason Rudolph in the game. So I don't know if the Steelers are going to roll with the Kenny Pickett. He's going to be on the team, of course, as well. He's the starting quarterback right now by default because it's only him and Mitch on the roster. But if Mason comes back, I think Mason should be able to beat out Kenny Pickett for the job. Or if they go out there and get a Russell Wilson or Kirk Cousins, or they go out there and say, hey, we want to draft a quarterback, trade up for Michael Penix Jr. Michael Penix Jr. has a strong arm, very versatile. He can get the pocket, he can run as well. But the only thing about him is the injury concerns. He's been banged up a lot in college. He's a good player, great player. But he had he had a bad shoulder. He had the torn ACL. He had the rib injury. He had the ankle. All types of injuries throughout his college tenure. So, and even you've seen it in the national championship game where they lost the game on Washington, and I think he had the ribs. He had the bad ribs. He could barely stand up. They still had him in the game. He's very tough, of course. But we had a broken down quarterback in our history. Of course, Big Ben was always injured. I feel like he played better when he was injured. But Michael Penix Jr. would be a nice addition, or they trade up high in the draft. They say we want to go out there and get one of those even bigger, talented quarterbacks, the Heisman Trophy winner like Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is an amazing player, very versatile. Is a dual threat QB. Michael Penix Jr. can run, but Jaden Daniels is a literal dual threat QB. He can run the ball very well. I think he has a 4.49 speed. He can throw the ball well, make a lot of plays, and he's kind of like fitting that scheme. If you want to get loose and have a quarterback improvise a lot, he's one of those type of quarterbacks who can do that improvisation and go out there and make anything out of nothing. So having a guy like that on the roster would be very good too as well. So the Steelers want to go that approach. They can do that in the draft, or they can just maybe go with the approach of keep building a team around, and then maybe go with the Mason Rudolph, who's been here for years, and just see what happens throughout that season. I feel like the Steelers can win enough games to get to the playoffs with Mason, probably win 11 games, 10, 11, 12 games probably. But I don't think we can be able to win in the playoffs to get over that hump, because Mason is, don't get me wrong, he's solid. But I don't think he's game-changing enough to get you over the hump to win playoff games to compete for a championship. That's why I need us to go out there and get a guy who can go out there and help us win now. Unless you want to wait to future time to win, but go out there and help us win now. So help us get in the playoffs again, but also win a playoff game, and then win another playoff game and see what happens and see where you lie. So hopefully the Steelers figure out that quarterback situation. But other positions they have to figure out too as well is right tackle, like I mentioned, Amarius Mims from Georgia. Go ahead and bring the whole Georgia unit over. We get the center from we get Cedric from Georgia. We got Bradley Jones already. Move him back to left tackle. And right tackle you put Amarius Mims. And then you have Jaden Daniels, of course, and Simalu. We have 3 guys from Georgia on the line. That'd be great. And then George Pickens on the outside, and Darnell Washington from Georgia as well. So now we'll bring the whole Georgia team here. They've been doing great ever since we drafted. George Pickens did great. Darnell Washington's doing pretty good. Bradley Jones did great. So hey, keep adding them on. Strong safety, another position as well. We need to get somebody in that backfield behind Minka to help him out, and also some depth too under Minka, just in case he get injured, and just to have that depth and versatility, just to keep the guys fresh, and just to have more weapons. Cornerback as well. I know Corey Trice Jr. will be back this season. We're gonna see how he looks. I know he was a 6th round or 7th round pick. They say he could have probably been 5th round, 4th roundish, but the injuries in the college kind of plagued him down, and you see the injury happen in training camp. He's out for the season, so we're gonna see how he looks. He's like a 6'4" cornerback. He has long arms, can play inside and outside. They put him in safety a few times in training camp as well in 2023. So we're gonna see what happens and see if he can emerge as a solid guy to be number 2 by JPJ. So we're gonna see what happens. And receiver, you can always add another receiver. George Pickens is amazing. This Johnson is amazing. You got to pay George Pickens too as well. So hopefully we pay him probably this year so we can already get that locked up. DJ is amazing. Calvin Austin, he has speed and versatility, but I feel like you can probably, if you wanted to add another receiver, you could, because Calvin Austin has been banged up. He's a little injury prone. He's been banged up throughout the season, and we've seen plays. He really got a lot of opportunities down the season, getting the ball down the field. He had that early in the year, but later in the year, they say he got banged up. He missed some games, and then he came back. They were to use him a lot. So if they want to go out there and get a receiver, and they feel like Calvin Austin don't fit in the scheme, you can go out there and get a receiver if you want to, or see what happens. But, receiver is always on the list for the Steelers to get. And last but not least, punter. Punter as well. The reason punter not high on the list because it's not a dire need, of course. But, of course, it's still a need. And Tory Taylor, punter from Iowa. He got the Steeler colors already. Iowa got the same colors as the Steelers, the black and gold, and the white and stuff. They look kind of like the Steelers. You kind of like squint your eyes a little bit, be like, they look like Pittsburgh right there. But add him to the team because Presley Harvin, I love his story, his hard-fought story, going out there and his grandpa passed and stuff. He's had the amazing story, probably a good person as well, but he just hasn't been consistent enough. His rookie season, he showed you the flashes, but the past 2 years, he hasn't been consistent enough. And some of those punts that kind of plagued and cost you some games and caused you some field positioning too, and cost the defense some momentum as well. Because you see some of those punts, you be like, man, he got there, get a 25-yard punt. And we see that in the playoffs. He had a 25-yard punt, 27-yard punt. So it's just been bad. But hopefully the Steelers figure that out. But it's all I got for the video today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.